Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I am Paula and I live a keto lifestyle. And today I have a few things planned for you in this video. I am going to be doing the usual what I eat in a day video, showing you what I eat throughout the day today, under 20 total carbs a day. I count total carbs, not net carbs. That's what works best for me. And so I'll just be showing you that today. And also, speaking of carbs, I am going to put the carb count on the screen for the meals. I have been slacking in that area, and I know that a lot of you like that. So that part comes in the editing process. So when that time comes, I will try to remember to put those carb counts in there. Also today, I am going to be doing a little demonstration, I guess you could call it, on carbs. I've been talking over in my Patreon group. If you're not part of that group, you can go over and join. The link is down below in the description. But I've been talking about the importance of counting carbs when it comes to vegetables and dairy and that sort of thing. Now, when it comes to meat, I personally, myself, I don't measure out meat. I don't weigh it. I just eat whatever serving that I think I'm gonna want to have, and I just have it. Now, when it comes to vegetables or dairy, I'm going to show you a demonstration today on how important it is to measure out your vegetables and to measure out your dairy, because it can add up really quickly. I'll show you a few examples from some of the foods that I have here in the refrigerator of what the carb count is on the measured item. If you don't measure out your vegetables, your dairy, your cheese, your almond flours, those kind of things, you may be getting a lot more carbs in your diet than you think. So now we're gonna move to the kitchen and I'm gonna show you what I mean. So I'll meet you over at the counter. So the first thing I'm going to show you is blueberries. Now, I buy blueberries, but I have gotten away from eating them myself, but my grandsons love them. They're a nice little finger food for them versus a lot of other foods. I don't have anything against blueberries. I just have gotten away from eating them because I'm going to show you, this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. And in this 1/2 cup of blueberries, right here, okay, that's not a whole lot of blueberries. There's 11 grams of carbs in this little bit of blueberries. Now for myself, I stay around 20 or less total carbs a day. This would be a little over half of the carbs that I would be eating for the entire day. And to me, this little bunch of blueberries is not worth having all those extra carbs. I would rather eat something else versus this. So you may be a person who counts net carbs. And if you count net carbs, what that means is you take the fiber that is in the blueberries, the amount of grams of fiber, and you subtract that from the total carbs, and then you will have a net carb amount, which is less. A lot of people count net carbs. It works for a lot of people. If it works for you and you're achieving all your goals, then go for it. I personally don't get any results when I count net carbs. So that's why I do total carbs. And I'm not saying to those who like to count net carbs, that you're doing it wrong. You do what works for you. I'm just sharing with you the total carb amounts in these foods. Next food is broccoli. Now, I like broccoli. Broccoli is a keto-friendly food. In fact, I have broccoli in some of my recipes in my cookbook. But I just want to show you what a 1 cup serving of broccoli looks like. So this is a 1 cup measuring cup, and I have some chopped broccoli. And when I looked up the carb count in 1 cup of chopped broccoli, it is 6 grams of total carbs. I'm going to put it in this little cup. I hope it doesn't overflow because I want you to see it through glass. There we go. All right. That is 1 cup of broccoli. That is 6 grams of carbs. I could easily take double this amount, scoop it out on my plate without measuring it and eat it and think that I am keeping my carbs low. But 2 of these would be 12 grams of carbs. So I just want you to visualize right here that this is 1 cup of chopped broccoli. All right, so the next food is cottage cheese. I love me some cottage cheese. This is a really good brand. I like this brand. It's called Good Culture. And this is a lower carb, lower sugar brand of cottage cheese. This has 3 grams of carbs in 1/2 cup. Now, cottage cheese is something that I can easily overdo because I like it, and I like it especially with everything bagel seasoning sprinkled on top. It's so good. I used to just take the container, open it up, get a spoon, and spoon it out into a bowl. And one day I decided to measure it out to see what a 1/2 cup actually looks like. And I'm going to show you what a 1/2 cup actually looks like. This is my 1/2 cup measuring cup. This is my little glass cup right here. And that is 1/2 cup serving of cottage cheese. That's 1/2 cup. I could very, very easily eat 2 of these, maybe even 3. Because if I had 3 servings of this, it would be 9 carbs. So that would be half, almost half of what I allow myself to have in a day's time. So again, visualizing the serving size is so important. I hope this is helping you. I'm gonna get another food. So the next food I'm gonna show you is strawberries. This is 1 cup of sliced strawberries, and I love strawberries. They smell so good. But this little cup of sliced strawberries has total carbs, if you're counting total carbs. This has 12, almost 12 grams of carbs in 1 cup of strawberries, okay? I could easily take 1 cup of strawberries, put some whipped cream on top. That's 12 grams of carbs. What I would do if I was gonna eat this, if I knew I was gonna have a big bowl of strawberries like this, it's actually not that big, but if I was gonna have some strawberries like this for dessert with a little whipped cream on top at the end of the day, I would go as low carb as I could. Like I would eat mostly meat throughout the day and keep my carbs super low so that I could have these. Lately, I've been thinking twice about having something like this because this does not make me full. It's a treat. I've gotten to where I will just have 1 strawberry, a big strawberry, slice it up and use it for a garnish, maybe on a low carb yogurt or something like that, instead of having all of these carbs. So I'm gonna move on to the next food. Okay, the next food is kind of tricky. This is heavy cream, all right? It's a very low carb food, and it is something that we can enjoy in a lot of different recipes. I really use a lot of heavy cream, but the label on this one says carbs 0 grams, but that's not completely true. So 1 teaspoon, according to the USDA, 1 teaspoon like this of heavy cream has 0.4 grams of carbs in it. Okay, that's not a lot. That's not even 1 carb. Since it's not 1 carb, they are able to round down to 0. They're just able to do that. It's allowable, and they're able to do that. So a serving of this is 0.4. So that means 2 tablespoons, around 2 tablespoons is a carb, almost a full carb. It's not a lot, but there are carbs in heavy cream, and a lot of people think that they're not because the label says 0. So I'm going to show you 1 tablespoon. I'm going to pour it into here, and then I'm going to pour it into my little glass bowl. This is 1 tablespoon of heavy cream, okay? I'm going to show you what I do a lot of times, and lately I have been making myself more aware, and I'm going to start doing this more often than this. Imagine this is my cup of coffee and this is my heavy cream. This is what I do. I go like that until it's about what I think is a good amount of cream. And I'm probably having 2 or 3 carbs of cream in my coffee. So I'm sorry to bring that bad news because I know we all love our heavy cream, but I just want to make you aware of hidden carbs that we don't think are that bad and how quickly they can add up. This next one really hit me in a soft spot. It really hit me hard in a soft spot because I love my cheese. But I want to show you a cheese that I have in my refrigerator. Now this is mozzarella cheese in a bag, and I know that you can buy blocks of cheese and shred them yourself and save on carbs, because they put agents in here that keep the cheese from sticking together, and that's how they get more carbs. But a lot of cheeses, just like the heavy cream, have the hidden carbs in them, so we have to be careful. But I have this one. I have shredded mozzarella cheese in my refrigerator, and I use a lot of mozzarella cheese. A lot. I love cheese, okay? I want to show you in particular this bag in relation to like the serving size and how many carbs it is, just because it's an eye-opener. It's a real eye-opener. It was for me, and it's making me want to think twice about just pouring out a bag of cheese onto some of my recipes and doing more of measuring it, because I think this right here, things like this, can be what is making a lot of us stall. Not saying cheese is a bad thing to have on keto if you have dairy. Just be aware of the carb count, because you may be thinking that you're going to have that big pan of lasagna, my lasagna recipe, you know, it's amazing, right? But think about the cheese, the measurements of cheese that is on there. So this one right here has 2 grams of carbs in 1/4 of a cup. 1/4 of a cup. I told you, this hit me in a soft spot. This was like, I wanted to cry, okay? All right, so this is my little glass container. This is 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese. That's 2 carbs, 2 carbs, okay? So having 1 cup of this would be 8 carbs. So that right there, man, that's huge to me. I mean, like, I'm turning red, okay? Like, I'm physically turning red. Like, that just blows my mind, because I eat a lot of cheese. Whew. I need a drink of water after that one. If you have found yourself at a stall, a weight loss stall, I challenge you to start measuring out, if you don't already, your dairy, your cheeses, your fruits, your vegetables. Measure them out and start doing it that way, and see if that doesn't help you to break a stall. All right, I got another food. I'll be right back. Next one is nuts. Now, I have pecans or pecans, whatever you call them. I like to call them pecans. I have pecans in my house because I like pecans, and they are a lower carb nut. It's not all nuts are the same. They all have different carb counts, so you want to check that out depending on what kind of nuts that you like to eat. So I want to make sure I get this right. The total carb count for pecans, pecan halves, 10 of them is 4 grams of carbs. So this right here is 4 grams of carbs. Who's going to sit down with a bag of pecans and eat just this many? It can be dangerous. If you sit down with this in front of the TV, it could be dangerous. You could eat a lot more than this right here. This demonstration is really helping me as well in paying attention to the serving sizes, because I could very easily overdo it on this type of food. So just measuring it out is something that I'm going to be really paying attention to from now on. Just preparing the foods for this demonstration, getting this together, looking up the different foods has really got me like thinking twice about eating some of these foods and whether they are necessary in my life. So that's all the foods I'm going to show you today in this demonstration. I could just go on and on and on, but this video would be way too long. But I just wanted to do this demonstration to get you thinking, to get those wheels spinning about how many carbs am I actually having when I eat vegetables, when I eat dairy. I think dairy is a big one. I think nuts is a big one that could be contributing to weight loss stalls. And so just be aware of it and really think the next time you pull out a package of food, like the cheese, and you are gonna dump it on your food, like I do, think about the serving sizes, measure it out, and just be more aware. That's the whole purpose of this demonstration. I want you to be aware of how much carbs in servings that we're actually having. It was a real eye-opener on some of the serving sizes. So I hope this segment helped you. I'm gonna get ready and start my day here. I've got to take my mother-in-law to an appointment, and when I get back from that, I'm gonna have my first meal, and I'll show you what I'm having with the carb counts on the screen. So I'll see you then. All right, it is almost 1 o'clock. Just got home and I am hungry. I almost said hangry. I'm almost to the point of feeling hangry, you know, when you're got that, I gotta eat right now. That's how I feel right now. I'm really, really hungry. So am I thankful that I meal prepped some items in the refrigerator the other day. I'm having a couple of boiled eggs with some salt and some bacon. I already had these all pre-cooked in the refrigerator. I just got back from an appointment with my mother-in-law, and it's always a really long appointment. This appointment for her eyes, it is a 3-hour appointment usually, and I really should have taken something with me to eat. Usually I'll take like a beef stick or something and have it in my purse, and if I go past my time of eating and I'm hungry, I can just eat that. But I didn't have anything with me, not even my water. I left my water at home, so I came home and I mixed up my water real quick with some Element and started drinking that down. And so I am gonna have some eggs and bacon for breakfast. Now, when I meal prep my bacon and I store it in the refrigerator, I just put it in the microwave for maybe 15, 20 seconds and just warm it up a little bit. I don't want it to cook any more than it already is. Sometimes if I'm meal prepping my bacon, I will take it out a minute or so before it's done like I like it. And that way when I finish warming it up in the microwave, it, you know, crisps up a little bit. So this is what I'm having for my first meal. And so I'm gonna go eat, and I'm gonna finish drinking my water, and I will see you in just a little bit. Getting ready to make some breaded chicken tenders for dinner. In this jar here, I have a mixture of 4 items. This is crushed pork rinds and grated Parmesan cheese that I grate myself. And it has some carnivore crisp chicken breast flour, and it has some seasoned salt from Redmond's. I have some egg right here. I have some chicken breast strips right here that I picked up from Aldi yesterday. And I am going to just put some of this out on a plate. And someone asked me, what do I do with the leftover breading? If I'm using this breading to bread meat with, if the breading has had contact with meat, as this will on this plate, whatever's left, I toss it in the garbage. This breading right here, I'm gonna keep in the refrigerator just because I just wanna keep it fresh in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna start by, I got this backwards, and I'm doing this one-handed. So I'm gonna start by putting my chicken into this egg, and then I'm gonna roll it around in this breading. I'm not doing shake and bake. I should have done the shake and bake. I made some shake and bake pork chops the other day in my last video, and I should have done that today, but I didn't think about it. So I'm just gonna get all of these pieces breaded and into my air fryer basket and get them in the air fryer and get them cooking. And when they are done, we're gonna have some chicken breast tenders that are breaded, delicious, full of protein, because not only does the chicken have protein, but the pork rinds and I'll wipe my hands off here for a second. The pork rinds and the chicken breast flour has protein. So this is a really good high protein meal. So I'm going to go ahead and get these breaded, and I will be back in just a few minutes. I decided, since I had some space left in my air fryer here, that I was going to bread some of these pickle spears. I have 4 of them here, and same way, and we're gonna have some breaded pickles along with our chicken. So I just decided that last minute, different egg and different breading from what I use for the chicken. So don't worry about cross-contamination. So I'm gonna get these in the air fryer and I'll be back. The chicken and the pickles, and I'm gonna put this on air crisp for those of you who have the Z-Star. And I'm gonna put this for about 24 minutes. And after 24 minutes, I don't have my glasses on. After 24 minutes, after 12 minutes, it's gonna beep. I'm gonna flip them over and we'll go from there. So I'll see you in just a little bit. Dinner. Look at that. Ed's over here.
What's that?
That's Caesar.
For
I'm gonna dip my, I was just gonna explain it. A couple of chicken tenders here, fried pickle, and Caesar salad. I also have a little bit of Caesar dressing on the side to dip my chicken in, and it's gonna be delicious. I did measure out, speaking of measuring, I did measure out my Caesar dressing, and I have a tablespoon of that in here. I measured out the carbs for this dinner, and so I'll put that right here on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and go eat, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, dinner was delicious. Very filling because of all that protein. And so I'm gonna have some of this in my coffee. I'm getting ready to have a cup of Nespresso. I have a cup of the Malazio decaf because it is almost 6 o'clock. And I have my little tablespoon measure here, and I'm gonna measure this out. 2 tablespoons of heavy cream, there's almost 1 carb. So I'm gonna measure out 2 tablespoons instead of just pouring it over. You can't see right now, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm gonna stir it with my measuring spoon. And then, oh, I forgot my my stevia drops. I like this one here. This is the English Toffee Stevia Drops. Really good in coffee. And I like it in the evenings because it's kind of sweet and it is almost like having a little dessert, just having a few drops of that English Toffee Stevia. And that is what I'm gonna have for the rest of the night. That's gonna be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off for tonight. I hope this video was helpful to you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. I will see you really soon. Have a great day and God bless. Go lay down. So I want to, when it comes to vegetables, she's really clingy this morning, but I think visually having a visualization, I think having a visualization, can't say that word. I think having a visual, I can't say it. I think having a visualization. I like broccoli. The next food is broccoli. Now, if you look it up, let me look it up. What's the word?